There are moments when words alone cannot reveal what someone truly feels. When a man is deeply drawn to a woman, his actions become a language of their own, unspoken signals that say more than confessions ever could. These psychological tricks are not manipulations, but instinctive patterns that emerge when emotions run deep. Understanding them allows you to see beyond the surface into the hidden ways desire and affection are expressed. When a man is truly taken by someone, his eyes become the first giveaway. You'll notice how his gaze lingers longer than it should, not in a way that feels invasive, but in a way that feels almost magnetic. The eyes are windows to emotions that words often struggle to express, and when he's captivated, he can't help but use them to lock onto you. He may catch himself staring, quickly looking away when you notice, only to return again as though drawn back by an invisible force. Along with this eye contact comes a natural shift in his body language. Without conscious thought, he leans in closer when you speak, as if every word deserves full attention. His shoulders align with yours, his feet point in your direction, his entire frame subtly telling you that you are the center of his focus. There is also the instinctive act of mirroring, where his movements begin to echo yours. A sip of a drink after you, a tilt of the head when you tilt yours, a quiet synchronization that speaks louder than conversation. These are not rehearsed or deliberate moves, but subconscious signals the mind sends when attraction runs deep. It's a psychological trick rooted in human nature, a way of establishing connection without a single word. What makes it powerful is that you often feel it too, the warmth of his attention, the intensity of being fully seen. In those moments, it's not just eye contact or body positioning, it's the silent declaration that you hold a special place in his thoughts and that he cannot help but let his emotions show through the language of presence and gaze. Jealousy has a subtle way of revealing itself when a man is deeply invested, and often it doesn't come in dramatic outbursts or loud declarations. Instead, it slips into casual remarks, quick shifts in tone, and fleeting expressions he tries to control but cannot completely hide. When another man's name enters the conversation, there is a noticeable pause, a change in his energy, as if his mind instantly begins to calculate the level of threat. He may disguise it as curiosity, asking small questions about who that person is, how you know him, or why he seems to matter. Beneath the surface, though, it's not just curiosity, it's the mind's way of protecting what it wants to claim. Even if he never voices it directly, his body reacts. His jaw may tighten slightly, his voice may deepen or grow more serious, and his posture shifts into a stance that feels more guarded, more present, as though he needs to anchor himself near you. Sometimes it shows in humor that carries an edge, a playful jab about the other man that hides a tinge of unease. At other times, it's in the way he suddenly becomes more attentive, making sure you notice his presence, reminding you of the connection you share without saying it outright. These small sparks of jealousy aren't meant to control or possess. They're psychological signs that he values your attention so much that the thought of losing it stirs something primal within him. He doesn't need to declare it because his behavior tells the story, and while he may play it off lightly, the truth is that his emotions are working behind the scenes, fighting to hold onto the closeness he feels with you. This protective instinct, when genuine and not excessive, is one of the clearest indicators that he isn't indifferent. He cares deeply, and that care naturally sharpens when he senses competition. It's not about mistrust, it's about the depth of desire and the quiet fear of being replaced. When a man is truly captivated, one of the clearest signs is the way he prioritizes your happiness in the smallest, most thoughtful ways. It isn't always about grand gestures or dramatic declarations of love. Rather, it shows in the quiet details of how he interacts with you day to day. He pays attention to what makes you comfortable and what doesn't, and then makes subtle adjustments to ensure you feel cared for. If he notices you're cold, he'll instinctively offer his jacket. If he sees you struggling with something, he'll step in to lighten the load without being asked. These little acts of consideration aren't random. They are fueled by a deep desire to make your world softer, smoother, and brighter. He remembers the tiny details you may have forgotten you even mentioned, like your favorite snack, the way you take your coffee, or the exact song that lifts your mood on a difficult day. In his mind, these details become tools to bring you joy, to remind you that someone is paying close attention. It's also about presence. He listens with full focus, setting distractions aside, showing you that your words matter more than anything else happening around him. Even when life is busy, he finds ways to carve out time because making you feel valued takes priority over convenience. This effort is not forced, it flows naturally because when someone is genuinely drawn to you, your happiness becomes intertwined with theirs. When you smile, it uplifts him. When you're upset, he feels an urgency to fix it. This is a psychological pattern rooted in care, a quiet yet powerful way of saying your well-being matters to me. And while he may never announce it outright, every small action, from anticipating your needs before you speak to offering comfort without being prompted, is his way of showing devotion. It's not manipulation or strategy, it's instinctive affection. The truth is, a man who goes out of his way to ensure you are happy is revealing that his feelings run deeper than casual interest. In his world, your comfort, your laughter, and your peace of mind become priorities that he carries with pride, even if he never says the words aloud. Teasing often carries more weight than it seems on the surface, especially when a man is deeply interested. It isn't the kind of harsh or careless teasing meant to hurt. Instead, it's a carefully balanced playfulness that creates chemistry and builds a sense of intimacy. When he playfully challenges you, makes witty remarks, or pokes fun in a light-hearted way, what he's really doing is testing the rhythm between you. He wants to see how you respond, whether you laugh, push back, or join in the banter. Because in that moment, he's gauging compatibility without asking directly. This playful teasing becomes a psychological trick. It lowers barriers, eases tension, and creates a bond that feels natural rather than forced. At the same time, it provides him with the chance to stand out, to show confidence and charm without overwhelming you with seriousness too quickly. You'll notice that his teasing often has an undertone of affection, a way of highlighting your quirks, drawing attention to the little things he admires about you, but disguising it as humor so it doesn't feel too vulnerable. There's also a protective layer within this behavior. By keeping the mood light, he can flirt without the fear of outright rejection, since the playfulness allows him to retreat if needed. But beneath that surface lies a deeper truth. He's trying to create an emotional spark that lingers beyond the words. Teasing is also a way of carving out a unique space between you, a dynamic that feels different from how he interacts with others. It becomes your own little game, a rhythm that only the two of you understand, and that exclusivity strengthens the connection. What seems like a joke on the outside is actually his attempt to keep the energy alive, to make every encounter memorable, to make you laugh in ways no one else can. It's not about being childish. It's about weaving light-hearted moments into the bond so that seriousness and depth can follow naturally. In the end, his teasing is more than humor. It's a doorway into closeness, an unspoken way of saying he feels comfortable enough to play and invested enough to want to keep your attention wrapped around his energy. When a man is truly drawn to someone, one of the most fascinating psychological signs is the way he quietly seeks validation. It's not always loud or obvious. In fact, it's often hidden in subtle gestures, the kinds of things you might overlook if you aren't paying close attention. He might tell a story and glance at you in the middle of it, searching for your reaction. Did you smile? Did you laugh? Did you look impressed? That tiny glance reveals more than the story itself. It shows he craves your approval, that your opinion matters more than the words he is saying. He may change the way he speaks when you're around, adjusting his tone, his choice of words, even the way he carries himself, because he is subconsciously aligning his behavior with what he believes will win your admiration. This isn't about being fake or pretending to be someone he's not. Rather, it's the mind's natural instinct to impress when emotions are deeply involved. Even in group settings, you'll notice that his attention always circles back to you. If he makes a joke, he checks to see if you laughed. If he shares an idea, he watches your face for approval. Your reactions serve as his compass, guiding how he behaves and fueling his confidence when you respond positively. Sometimes it's even more understated. He may wear something he thinks you'll notice, or bring up topics he knows you enjoy, all in the hope of seeing your eyes light up. It's as though your acknowledgement validates his choices and confirms that he's moving closer to your heart. The fascinating part is that he doesn't even realize he's doing it most of the time. These small adjustments, these careful observations, are subconscious attempts to strengthen the bond. When you respond with encouragement, his entire demeanor shifts. He stands taller, speaks more confidently, and feels secure in the connection. When your reaction is neutral or distant, you might notice him retreat slightly, rethinking, recalibrating, trying again in another way. This ongoing loop of seeking and responding is not manipulation, it is evidence of how much your perception matters to him. At its core, it's his way of saying, your approval shapes me, your presence motivates me, and your opinion has power over me in ways no one else's does. When a man is deeply invested, he doesn't just live in the present with you. He begins weaving little threads of memory that bind you together in ways that feel private and meaningful. This shows up in the way he turns ordinary interactions into something special, transforming casual moments into shared experiences that only the two of you fully understand. It might be as simple as creating an inside joke from a random comment you made, one that resurfaces in conversation later and instantly makes you both laugh. It could be a particular song he always plays when you're together, a place he suggests revisiting, or even a phrase he repeats just because he knows it connects to a memory you now share. These actions are not random. They're intentional psychological markers meant to strengthen the bond by making your connection feel unique, almost like a secret world no one else has access to. He knows that shared rituals, no matter how small, build intimacy. Maybe it's always grabbing a certain snack together, sending a message at a particular time of day, or walking a familiar route that becomes yours. These rituals take root in your mind so that even when you're apart, reminders of those moments bring you back to him. This creation of shared meaning is one of the most powerful signs of genuine affection because it requires thought, effort, and consistency. He isn't just living moment by moment. He's deliberately building a foundation where you feel included, valued, and remembered. At the same time, these moments give him a chance to see how you respond. If you laugh at the inside joke, join in the ritual, or reference a memory he created, it reassures him that you're as invested as he is. It's a form of emotional security, knowing that you share a bond no outsider can touch. The beauty of this psychological trick is its subtlety. It doesn't feel like a strategy, but rather a natural extension of care and desire. In truth, it's his way of saying, I don't want to just pass time with you. I want to create something that lasts, something that lingers in your heart and becomes ours alone. That's why he crafts these shared experiences, not to impress, but to ensure that no matter where life takes you, pieces of him remain woven into your most cherished memories. When you step back and see the full picture, it becomes clear that these psychological patterns aren't random habits. They are the silent language of deep attraction. Every lingering glance, every subtle spark of jealousy, every effort to make your life easier, every playful tease, every quiet search for your approval, and every shared moment he carefully creates, all of it forms a tapestry of emotions that words alone cannot capture. A man who is truly captivated cannot hide these instincts because they are woven into his behavior, revealing the depth of his feelings without a single confession. And while he may never openly announce how much he cares, his actions speak louder than any declaration. The truth is simple. When a man is crazy about you, you don't just hear it. You feel it in the way he looks at you, the way he protects you, the way he builds a world where you are at the center. These aren't tricks meant to manipulate. They are the unconscious signs of a heart that has already chosen you.